Welcome to Coffee with Jen and Sharon.
Hi, everybody. Hi,
So,
Jen.
hi. Sharon was under the weather a little bit this past week, and she's feeling better, so she's here. But she wasn't able to be with us on Monday behind the scenes. If you don't know, we also do this Mondays at 10:30. We have our whole team, and we
Right.
roundtable some topic. So that's if you noticed she was absent.
I'm sure it was much missed.
She has an excuse from her doctor. I'm sure a doctor's
Well,
slip
from
thing.
my children gifted me with a cold, which of course now in the time of COVID is, not, you can't just say, oh, it's just a cold. So last
No.
week I was giving them the COVID tests and, the home things to make sure they were okay. And then of course I got it.
Hmm.
We still have two members of the family who are still escaping it for now, but we'll
But
see.
all the COVID tests came back negative,
They did. They
and so
did. It's just a
it's just
cold.
just a cold. But I know this happened. My daughter who went off to school, she had to go a few days late because she had a really horrible, terrible cold, and it was the kind of thing where, first of all, she would have felt awful to be there, but also you just feel like everybody's going to be looking at you like,
I
why are you
know,
here? So
right?
really have to lay low, which is maybe not always a bad thing. It's probably what we should always have done, right?
I guess, yeah.
Stay home, don't spread it. But here's the
But
thing is that we talked about is that, the mom job kind of goes on even when you're sick, or does it? I was wondering in the Holbrook household, like what happens when you're down for the count? You have older kids, somewhat, kids are old enough to do their own thing. So did they step
right.
up in any way? Do they help out? Did they
Well,
pamper you?
what's really interesting is that it's been a long time since I was sick because not only did the COVID quarantine isolation period stop us from getting COVID for now.
Yep.
We This is my first cold in probably 2 years about. So
I know. Isn't
I
that
mean,
wild?
yeah, we've been so healthy. I mean, I guess it's been a small silver lining. So they're a lot older than the last time I would have gotten sick. But they were pretty good. I mean, it wasn't like they were running to put my feet up and bring me things, but I did get I did say I'm not going to be making dinner. Nobody wanted me making dinner when I was sneezing and everything anyway.
Yeah, good
And
call.
one of my teenagers took the opportunity. He saw the chicken in the fridge and he said, "Can I make chicken schnitzel?" Is like my kid's favorite. It's basically like chicken tenders made in a pan. It's like thin chicken with breading. It's really good.
Hmm.
But
Yep.
they
We
love
make
that.
that too. We make
Yeah.
that here too. It's a favorite, definitely.
So he took the
Wait, so he
opportunity.
actually he asked if he could. I like that.
No, well, first he asked, "Can we have chicken schnitzel?" And I said,
Oh, okay. All right.
"Well,
Now that's more normal.
right." I said, "Well, I'm not going to be cooking tonight, so I don't know, which of the things in the fridge was going to get made." I was thinking something like just heat it up, like I could throw something in the oven. But he said, "Well, I'll make it." So yes, I guess he did step up a little bit.
That
Um,
I think that's a big win. And how did it go? Did he have a million questions? Was he
he's
independent?
actually he actually has made it before, so we have to give a shout out to our past selves when maybe one day in the past we thought, oh, we should have our kids help with cooking. um,
Uh-huh.
I think one summer we said, oh, the kids are each going to make a couple new meals, and I think that was one of the ones he made. So hey,
Yay!
I
That's
didn't
I
even
think
know what
it's
I was preparing for, but I was
right.
preparing for this day, and he was able to do it. So it worked out. It worked
That's
out.
awesome. That's awesome. Now, in your case too, like your kids, um, nobody has to transport them to school. They each can get there without your intervention, right?
They can. I have two who walk and one who takes the bus from our corner. So
Hmm.
except for this morning when somebody didn't get the bus, and
Oh, Oh, then what happened?
Well, I have announced that there are 2 free drives to school, 2 free bus passes.
Oh, nice. I like it.
So this was the first bus pass for that child for the year. So
So when you say 2 free ones, is the third one like they have to pay for it?
I haven't gotten there yet, but probably, I don't know. You know, I like to find my children because they're money motivated.
Yes, yes.
But how about you, Jen? What was it like when you would get sick and when your kids were at home with you?
Well, first I wanna harken back to my childhood because I had the mom who never, ever, ever got sick. She just didn't, except for the one time that we all remember because it was so unusual. She had the flu, and this was like in the 1970s. There was some really bad strain of flu going around. Maybe it was the swine flu. I don't remember, but it was something that was just mowing people down, and kids weren't getting it, but adults were, because I remember that a lot of adults were really sick. So my mom had to take to her bed, which is something she never does. She's not a napper. She never, she just powers through the day, even at 88. God bless her. She never naps. So for my brother and me, this was such an unusual experience. We saw it as an opportunity to do all the things we wanted to do, like play football in the living room with my stuffed animals. We were such bad children.
You really stepped up.
Oh, we really stepped up, let me tell you. And I just have this image of my mother getting herself out of bed, coming down halfway down the stairs, looking pale as a ghost, and threatening us within an inch of our lives if we didn't knock that off immediately, which we did.
Gosh.
So clearly I was not the kid who was stepping up and offering to help in any way. But I do feel like if I'm down for the count, and if I need to be, riding the couch for a few days, yes, they will bring me the things I have brought to them. Do you need the tissues? Here's the remote. And actually, I have to say the most nurturing person in our house is probably my husband. He's way, way better at it. And he likes to be tended to when he is sick. I kind of don't. Like when I'm sick, I just want to be left alone. Yeah, I just want to crawl into a hole and be like, I'll come out in 3 days, let life carry on without me. But he's very good about keeping everything going. So I'm like you. I'm really struggling to remember the last time I was sick enough that I needed that kind of tending to. I guess, newsflash, maybe masks work.
Yeah, I know, right?
Getting sick.
Well, I went to I was going out, I'm in recovery, but I'm still a little congested and everything. And I had to speak to somebody. There's a contractor that came at my house. I said, well, he's vaccinated for COVID and so am I. But I said, I'll wear my mask because I have this cold. So I was like, this is handy,
I know, it is, right?
If a little sneeze or cough gets out or some droplets, they won't get on him. So yeah, I might keep doing it at the grocery store.
Seems like it might be a good idea. And yet somehow we, those little colds do sneak through. We're going to have them and we're doing more things. So I do wonder, like, in general, moms just don't seem to get as much of a break.
No, but I have found, I have very vivid memories of my kids being younger and me getting sick, because that is when, it really hits the fan.
Yeah, that's terrible.
You can't do anything. If you're vomiting and you have small children,
that's the worst.
You need another adult in the house. There's nothing you can do. So I have found, actually my children, I found it helps to be very explicit with what you need. And I guess that's probably a good rule of thumb with kids and family members. I need this. This is what I need. So there was one time when I did get violently ill, and my kids were probably about 8 and 6 and 4 or something like that. No, it must have been younger, because the little one had to go for a nap after lunch, but I could not make lunch. So I said to the older 2, they were probably like 5 and 7, something like that. I said, I need you to feed her something for lunch. Give her a yogurt. I don't know what give her something for lunch, and take her upstairs and read her a story or sing to her. And because I, was indisposed, I could not. Mm-hmm. And they did it, and they remember this very proudly.
I bet they do. So, I'm so happy they rose to the occasion. That's
yes,
a big win.
They felt like really grown up and helpful, and they can still feel like that as teenagers, but sometimes they need us to tell them what what needs to be done because they're used to be the ones that are cared for. So I think it makes
Right.
sense.
Right. But you make a really good point about how that gives them the opportunity to feel like the adult at any age. And why do we have to wait till we're sick to have that experience?
Well,
You know, we should be doing that more regularly anyway. Like, hey, it would just really help me out if you could XYZ, whatever it is. But yes, explicit, very
right.
good.
And if it's sincere, if it's, I really need your help and you can be the one to do it, I think that means more than like, why don't you ever help with unloading the dishwasher? Why do
Yeah,
I always have to do it? You know, that just
that's
breeds.
a losing strategy right
Right.
there.
Jen, I have a question that is a little more serious. And I don't know if any of our viewers have dealt with this, but what if the illness is bigger? What if it's like a chronic illness or, you know, I'm going to sneeze. Here I go.
Bless you.
I was telling the truth about my cold.
Yeah, you were ready. You were ready with the tissues. That was
I brought them out specifically with me because I didn't want to run into this problem. But what I was saying is, you know, what if there's cancer or you know, an illness that keeps you from being able to physically do as much for your kids? I don't know if anyone wants to weigh in on how you balance that. I think that might be a time to get professional advice because you want your kids to be able to step up, you know. If mom's
but you also but you also don't want them to feel like they're missing out on, you know, that they can't still be the kid, you know, like that's hard too. You don't want them to have to take so much on that they feel like, well, I missed this developmental stage where it can be all about me, because that's a lot of what this is. So yeah, that is really
on top of dealing with the fact that mom's having chemo or whatever it might be,
or
you know,
dad
now
or whoever,
but now I'm also expected to be the grown-up in charge. So I mean,
that would be hard.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that we have people out there who are going through it now or have been through it, and that would be a really good topic to hear more on. I'm pretty sure we have some articles that we've written about this, or that some of our staff writers have written about. So we'll look for that to post for later, because I think that's a good one.
That's more in depth than what we're talking about. But I guess the other side of that is that we shouldn't worry about asking for help when it's just the small things, because you know, it's just temporary. It's not, you know, they can pitch in extra for a week or whatever it might be. We don't have to feel bad about saying, can you cook? Can you do the thing I normally do? Can you make your own lunch if they're not, you know, doing whatever?
Yeah. Or if it turns out that Uber Eats is the best solution for that night, we shouldn't feel bad about it.
Right.
Absolutely.
And the way that things go in my house, usually when mom gets something, somebody else has it too. So they'll get their chance to be pampered and taken care of too.
That's true. That's true. I know a while ago, Sue and Steph, they have a podcast.
This is our editor-in-chief and publisher.
Right.
Of your team.
And they spoke with Sonia Luther, who had an episode about who mothers the mothers. Mm-hmm. So that was a really good one too. And if we're able to, this is beyond my technological ability, but I bet our crack technological assistant Jessica can help us. We might be able to post a link to that, because that was a really good listen. I was out for a walk one day listening to it, and I was like, this is all really good information. We should be thinking about this more proactively. And you know, who takes care of us.
And I know one of her top tips, Sonia Luther's, was friendship. And, you know, I think that we should not be shy about taking advantage of that when we're sick. You know, if we have friends that we text with, you know, I wouldn't mind at all if somebody said, oh, is anybody going to CVS or to the grocery store?
Absolutely. It actually makes you feel really good to be able to do that. Sharon, I'm a little disappointed you didn't call me to ask you to bring you some lemon tea. I would have done that.
I have a full complement of lemon tea, and
Good.
I'm drinking it right. I'm getting my vitamin C to fight off the cold. Oh, good. Jessica's already posting.
She's amazing.
Yes. No, it is wonderful, because we all know, you know, that's who does mother the mother. We need it too. Right. So
we need it too. So, all right. Well, listen to the podcast. We'll find some good articles for you. Share with us your tips and tricks or funny stories about what happened when you were down for the count.
Yeah.
We want it all. So send it our way.
Yep.
And Sharon, I hope you continue to feel better.
Oh,
I
thank
want you to
you.
get better so we can go for a walk. It's
Yes.
beautiful out.
Yes, I could go for a gentle solo walk today, but I'm on the mend.
Good idea. All right. Excellent.
All right. Thanks everybody for joining us, and we will see you next week.
See you next week. Bye.